What's going on this morning, family? Blackfish checking in. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit. Wanted to come to you this morning, rap smoking well, and talk to you about a true story of an inmate that I actually did time with. I think I'm gonna have to change this light. Hold up. Probably help me out a little bit. I need to switch this up. Try to get a little a little better lighting real quick before I tune in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wanted to talk to you about a true story. This was 2001. I was actually just turning 21 years old. My age actually goes with the year. I was just turning 21 years old, and I was getting shipped from a juvenile facility that was Newport, Arkansas at the time, and I was getting transferred to another unit called the Delta Unit, and it was in Dermot, Arkansas. So during that time, I was still going through my transition. I wasn't short enough to go to Votech yet to get my welding certification. So I was just pretty much going to this new unit to get closer to home for a while, get more visits, and just see family for a while. So it didn't have no specific purpose, and I was just gonna work whatever prison job that I would have got. But just so happened that when I was there, I had the commissary job. So I had a great job. I was working commissary. So I learned a lot of things about stocking, inventory, um, keeping the supplies up, filling orders, um, looking at price sheets, just learning the business side of things that literally I really wasn't aware that I was learning at the time. But I ran across a inmate. His name was Donald Burks, and he was from McGee, Arkansas, from my hometown. His name was Donald Burks, and I ran across this guy, and I didn't know he was there, but he was there at the unit. He was actually working in the commissary, and he actually put a word in. He got me in there, and he kind of like took me under his wing. He was an older homeboy of mine. He was the same age as my youngest auntie, who is still grown, but the same age as my mom's baby sister, and he was he was able to teach me a lot, man. And this guy, I got to talk about this guy, man, because he changed my life in a lot of ways, mentally, uh, financially, spiritually, as far as just giving me some of his principles. But he taught me a skill in there that I wasn't indulging in completely at the time. It was called hobbycraft. It's where they use leather to make purses, Bible covers, belts, things of that nature, keychains, you name it. Well, he had got the game from a gentleman who has been there for for a while, decades, who introduced it to him. So when I made it there, I'm 21, I'm young. He was like, "Hey, I want to introduce you with this." Yes, yes, he was on my mind this morning. Yes, he was. So he was like, "I want to introduce you to this to this trade, to this fabrication of this um, leather work." So he did that, man. Like I say, he had been incarcerated for a few years, and he was about to get ready to get out. Well, he wasn't. He was about to leave there because he had state time and fed time. So he had to do his state time, and then he had to leave the state and go to the feds and do his fed time. So I got a chance to catch him before he went to the feds. And like I said, man, this brother blessed me like tremendously. And we don't even talk to this day, but I still got a lot of respect for this brother. I don't have his information to reach him, but I believe he's in Nevada now. I believe he's located in Nevada now. After he got out and got himself together, you know what I mean? Good brother, man. I ain't got nothing but love for this brother. Nothing but love, nothing but respect. Um, so what he did was he taught me this trade, and he showed me how to make Bible covers, belts, purses out of leather. I didn't really know the hustle. You know what I mean? I didn't even know that it existed on that level. But he told me a story about this guy that was in there who wasn't there at the time that taught him, and he was so inspired by the guy because the guy bought his daughter a new vehicle from prison on her graduation, from graduating high school or whatnot. That was his gift for brand new car, probably anywhere from 12 to 16,000. I think it was 16,000. I think it was. It was between. That was a nice car. It was like a Honda or something, or a Civic or something. And he purchased it off of selling leatherworks in prison, using his work ethics, selling leatherworks, and he did that for his daughter. And this guy had a life sentence. And that inspired me so much to use this and add that skill to what I did. So I learned this leather work, man. I was under my guidance. And I ain't gonna lie, when you learning things from people older, sometimes it's gonna rub you wrong, you know. Sometimes they might say things you don't get. You like, man, he just picking on me. But he wasn't though. He was like really, really molding me, man. And like I say, I learned a lot from that brother. Patience. Um, he had a lot of patience, man. He taught me a lot of patience. He was very soft spoken. You know what I mean? He was one of those what I call soft spoken gorillas. You know what I mean? He was one of those guys where, you know, um, he was very quiet and laid back. But you cross that line, you'll see a whole nother person. What's going on now? What's going on? And it was crazy that Pete was like that, man. Pete was a good guy, man. Very, very good guy. Um, he was one of those guys that if you meet him and you meet his personality, you'll understand more of his character. You know what I mean? He went to the military, so he was a military guy. He was in the army. He actually fought in Desert Storm. And this guy was, like I say, he was a stand up dude, man. Very, very true to his word. Very clean cut, very professional. He was I would call him a ladies' man too. He liked to, man, Pete's a good guy. And I learned a lot from Pete, man. I'm really glad that I actually was able to be around Pete, able to meet him. And even though, like I say, I knew him growing up, I'd seen him around the hood, but I didn't know him. And I got a chance to know the brother in there, and he became, a big brother to me. You know what I mean? Like I say, he knew my family, the whole nine, but he became a real big brother. You know what I'm saying? To me in that process. So before I go any more in the story, we're gonna fire up because I said, we're gonna wrap smoking well. And for those who know, I have a medical marijuana card. I believe in taking herbal medication over the over the prescription stuff. The hard stuff, the stuff that can cause a lot of issues. And my mom actually died from an accidental overdose, so I don't really lean towards the prescription stuff at all, unless it's something that I have to take in the hospital, like something that's important. Other than that, I would rather have herbal. I would rather smoke. So that's what we're about to do. And this is actually some sativa this morning. Don't know the name of it. This is some lemon tree, I think. So to finish my story, old Pete showed me the leather work. He showed me how to make belts through the design of patterns, and he helped me come up with products. Like he had his own type of product. He had his own type of things that he was good at, and he was a member of a fraternity. So he used to make fraternity keychains too. Salute, salute, salute. He used to make fraternity keychains. So he used to sell these for a nice amount, like make good money. Let me see. I couldn't see what you said there. Yes, yes, God slowed me down to put me around the right people, and that's why I want to pay homage, even if I never talk to my guy again. I want to pay homage publicly and just he's on my mind now because he helped me so much. Like he helped me more than my birth father did. Like this guy helped me more than my father did. The information, the love he gave me, the brotherhood, the skill he gave me. He gave me a skill before I became a welder. He gave me a physical hustle to take care of myself. He showed me the tools I need. He gave me some tools to help me build up my inventory, so that way I could become independent. So this guy was amazing, man. It was an amazing brother, man. Amazing, amazing, amazing brother. So he started teaching me, and then again, think about this. He helped get me into the commissary. So my job is the commissary. I'm 21 years old. I'm learning how to do inventory. I'm learning how to do stock shelves and do stuff like that. All this is business stuff that later I'm using. You know what I mean? He showed me how to move around and move around. Good rides and good rides, and he showed me how to move around and network with other officers and inmates that was in there. How to stay clean cut and how people respect you if you carry yourself right. I had already had some of that down, but I learned a lot more of it from him. Um, like I say, he taught me how to carry myself. Like to be, I'm gonna tell you one thing that he taught me that I can't say that he just verbatim just said, but he did it by actions. Don't tell your left hand what your right hand is doing. Move with silence. Get your bag, get your paper. Don't worry about what the haters got to say. Just do you. You know, if anything, they gonna see you maintaining. Be like, they don't know what you doing, but if he doing something, he alright. He's like, man, just keep folks out your business. You know what I mean? And I learned by doing that you will have more, because one of his downfalls, I'm sure some of his story, one of his downfalls was he trusted one of our homeboys that that's from our town, and he was doing some illegal activities. Like I said, we grew up in the crack era, cocaine era. And he was doing some things in that era, and one of our friends, or I say homeboy, so to speak, got caught up in a bind. He didn't know it. The police gonna say, "Hey, give me somebody." So he gave him Pete. He said, "Hey, I know, where it's coming from. You know what I mean?" And that's what they wanted. So they gave him Pete, and just so happened Pete was getting it through the mail, through the U.S. mail. So when he told him, they just waited to whatever, watched him until he was getting something in. And he told me he went to the door, he signed for a package, he closed the door, he turned around, they kicked the door in, and I think he got caught with it was I don't know I believe it was soft. I don't know if it was hard, if it was manufactured already, but I believe he got caught with it was a lot of cocaine or crack. It was it was a lot. It was even, I want to say, I can't remember the quantity, but it was enough to get him 20 years in a state prison and 10 years in a federal prison. So I just say it like that. You know what I mean? But my guy, like I say, due to him doing the military, you know, I don't know if that helped him out a little bit, but you got to think he still had 20 years in the state. And on the state time, you got to do like 5 years. and then you get 10 years in the feds. Depends on the system at the time. You can do anywhere from 5 to 8 years of that. So he was locked up. He got caught up in that situation. But needless to say, man, my guy was doing his time in Scribe, and I caught him at a time in my life where I needed some guidance. Good morning, good morning. So what he did was, yes, it is in the Bible. Um, what he did was he caught me during that time when I was going through a metamorphosis. We got to think. I was incarcerated at 16. So by the time I turned 21, all this time I grew up in prison. So now I'm meeting a man who didn't spend all his life in prison because he was in the military. He traveled, he'd been overseas. He got caught up in a situation, but he was stable and he had to do some time. But I was able to learn a lot from this brother. So, sometimes, things happen for different reasons. But man, the stuff I learned from this brother was unreal. And I remember when he got out and I met him, I had a lot going on in my life. He had got a apartment, and he offered me to come move in and be his roommate. And I probably should have took that opportunity, honestly, because it probably would have saved me some headaches. But I was so emotional, unstable, and stuff going on in my life mentally, just dealing with stuff, man. I was just messed up at that time. But I did stop through there, and we kicked it, spent the night with him a couple of nights, and we hung out. We had a friend. I never forget, we had met these two girls, and we hung out. It was cool because during after all that time, I got a chance to actually get out with my brother, and we sat down and had breakfast and talked. And he was working, got him a bike again because he wanted to get him a motorcycle. He liked the bikes. He ended up getting him a bike again. And he was doing this thing, man. And me and him ended up getting a friend, and we went out to eat. I'll never forget, and went out to a little bar and to a little club, and like it was a grown club, one of them grown and sexy type things. So it was cool to be hanging out with my brother, man. But that dude taught me a lot. So to this day, hopefully I get a chance to see my brother again. But just wanted to come to you this morning and kind of talk about it, man, because part of what you seeing now in me, the a lot of the things that you like, so to speak, and what I do when I get my message and when I talk is coming from him. He gave me a lot. Yes, yes. You have to be quiet with that. You can't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing all the time. And I think it's very important to um, to understand that concept, as you growing, because a lot of times we want to let everybody know what we're doing. Peace, God, peace, God. We want to let everybody know what we're doing, how we're doing it, why we're doing it, when we're doing it, and it just realistically, we create enemies that way. We create silent enemies, people who might trying to do this and feel like you shouldn't be doing it. And some things you shouldn't reveal until after it's done. That way, can't nobody interfere with the process. But he showed me work ethics, and I wanted to talk about the leather work because I did it once I got home. Oh yeah, you had a motorcycle. Salute, salute. And he he taught me a lot, man, about that leather, and I used it once I got home. I bought me a small little deal, but I couldn't get it off the ground. And honestly, now that I think about it, I really could have got it, but I lost. You know how you don't be consistent, you don't be completely focused. I lost focus. If I'd have stayed focused, I could have did it. Now, do I want to jump back into the leather work right now? No, I don't. But when it comes to customizing certain things, like making those belts and keychains and different small custom items that I can sell independently, yeah, I've been thinking about it. It just takes money to get that started. Like with your equipment and stuff, I had to get my stamps. Like I don't know, getting started. with that, $1,000 is a good start. You know, you can get a lot of material and a lot of the stamps and leather you need to get started. No, everybody in your face and in your corner. And you know what? I have learned that the hard way, because when I started, if I would have started video blogging when I started my first business in 2013, the beginning of 2013, after I lost my mom, um, y'all would have seen some stuff, man. It was a whole different life. You hear me? Like, I wasn't as focused as I am right now at all. You know what I mean? Like, it was all over the place. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, but I was doing some positive and productive things, but I didn't have the right people around me. You know what I mean? I was trying to help some of the wrong people. You know what I mean, at the time, and some people that I ain't gonna say was the wrong people, but they just wasn't ready for what we was doing at that time. You know how everything has its season, and even when you meet certain people, they have a season in your life. And one thing I have learned that I just want to say real quick: we got to stop trying to make a forever relationship out of a person who was meant for a level. Certain people are meant for just levels in our lives, and we outgrow them and we move on. And we try to make a forever relationship out of a relationship that's just a level. And it causes a lot of turmoil, a lot of um, ill will. You know, it can cause regret, you know what I mean? And just some personal experiences, I would say, be more open minded. Don't try to control people, and just try to have your team around you organically. You don't want fake people around you. Almost definitely. You know what? It's crazy that I'm going to get back into the leather work. Like, I'm going to buy me a kit. You know, I got to get this HogOn Cafe off the ground. So once I get it completed, and my goal is to start networking and doing leather work. You know, doing like belts, HogOn belts. You know, for the people that works in the field, because we need good leather belts. You know what I'm saying? To hold up our britches. You know what I mean? In the field. So I want to give that. You know what I mean? I want to be able to provide something that can help. I used to make gun holsters for officers when I was in there for the officers. I made gun holsters, and now with the legal firearms, I can make holsters for anybody. You know what I mean? But it's been a while since I had that. But yes, everything has a season. But I still have it. That was a skill that was given to me that's like right on the back burner. Like, I can pick it up like riding a bike and start all over again. And it's not real hard to do. And I actually, it was um, thera- therapeutic in a way, because you use your hands, you think, and you making something. You got to do some music on. We used to play the music and just, zone out. And just like fabricating with metal now, it's just another product. But I wanted to give a shout out to Donald Burks, Pete, aka Pete. That's who really influenced me. Like I say, I ran across this gentleman at 21 years old, going into the extreme adult prison, what they call it, so to speak. I didn't get that one. Yes, yes, yes. You can make lifetime people out of seasonal people. And we tend to do that. Some people, a lot of people got big hearts. We got big hearts, man. And we want to just help people. And we tend to love people quickly sometimes, due to them saying, due to us thinking um, they are this certain position in our lives. And then we realize that, man, it ain't what we thought. You know what I mean? And it just caused a lot of pain, even in relationships. That dealing with relationships of the opposite sex or same sex or whatever your reference is, preference is. Um, Sometimes you just have to realize that when you're building your team, most definitely, you want people on your team that believe not only in you, but believe in the mission, the goal itself, and understand that it's going to take time, effort, and money and ideas to actually get what you're trying to get off the ground. And sometimes you might have a 80-20, meaning you might have 20% of people trying to get the business, and then you got 80% just trying to get a check, just trying to take out, and you have to flip that equation, man. You want to have a balance more the most you can, and that's just something that I learned personally with dealing with that. But just like I say, I wanted to talk about Pete this morning, man, because on your journey in life, you'll run across people who will really impact your life. They'll really give you something. They'll even physically bless you, or spiritually bless you, or mentally bless you. I can say that this brother literally blessed me on all levels. Like, he blessed me as a being. You know what I mean? Like, he looked out for me when my finances wasn't right. He talked to me when my mind wasn't right. He talked to me when, I was going through things emotionally, and it's just hard to find, And to be honest with you, now that I spend more time alone, because you go through different relationships and you get burnt over time, and then it makes you more cautious of just opening up to certain people. You know what I mean? Even though certain people you have to step away from because you love them and you have to build. Sometimes I realize you have to stand alone and build before you actually start go back and reaching out. Oh man, if I can say anything to my brother, man, it'll be the first thing I tell him is I love him. Man, I love you, man. Um, I thank you for investing time in me. I thank you for seeing something in me that I didn't quite see in myself, And it's a little emotional, really, to think about it, bro, because you did something for me that you did not have to. You didn't have to do none of that. So it gets a little emotional sometimes, man, because sometimes we expect love from family, friends, people that birth you, your father, your uncles, and you don't get that love. You know what I mean? And here goes a stranger that I met who, he did know me, but he's not my family, and he's from the same town, but I didn't know him. But this man, the stranger that I didn't know, invested more in me than my own father did, so I respect him a lot. I have times when, you don't see eye to eye with people you love, you know what I mean? But regardless of you not seeing eye to eye at times, in your heart the truth that if it wasn't for certain people in your life, if it wasn't for Pete, I'm gonna keep it real, I don't necessarily think I'd be where I'm at right now. That's how much he invested in me. I didn't realize it, but I'm up this morning thinking, and I was just being thankful and working out some ideas, and I was just smiling about some of the times I had with my brother, you know what I mean? And I was thinking like, man, dude really did change my life. Dude really did change my life. Like he um he planted a seed. Like he planted this boss seed in me to be independent, to be an owner, to be an entrepreneur, to have product over talent. You know how I say product over talent all the time? If I think about it, he was the first man outside of my grandfather. My grandfather taught me my first physical trade of cutting hair. He taught me that. My grandfather, Mr. Fred Brown, salute to him. But he taught me my first skill as far as product. He taught me product. He taught me how to turn product over talent. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know it, but he taught me how to make leatherworks to to put money on my books. Because it was time when my mom was struggling, where I sent give her money on visitation. You know, I was doing. I learned how to make money in there. Like he taught me how to take care of myself, and I was able to do more for my daughter, who's 23 years old now, but she was young then. You know, at 20. See, if I was 21 at the time my daughter was born, my daughter was 45 years old at that time. So she was 45 years old at that time. So, you know, like I say, that was a time in my life where I didn't realize how much it helped me. But to be truthful with you, I appreciate everything. I appreciate everything P did for me. And like I say, if I ever never talk to my guy again, you know what I mean? I never forget what he taught me, because he taught me. You know, I listened to Master P and I learned things of the actual saying product over talent. But my brother Pete, you know, who I was in prison with, you know, my OG, that guy, that guy taught me product over talent. Like he taught me how to make a product to make money and finance myself. That was more important than my talent. You know what I mean? He said, "Hey, you can make money in your sleep with this," and he did it. You know, like he was having stuff, people selling stuff for him. His mom and them taking it to the church. People want belts. People want this. They want purses. Man, we was making purses out of gator, out of just a snake skin, like handmade, real stuff. And it was neat buying the insides to put the inside and sewing it up. Like I learned how to make some cold stuff. We made some real leather bags with, you know, the real skin on it. It was it was neat, man. There was so much you can do. And I remember once I left there, this is 2001 when I finally left there, and I moved on and went to another unit. And I remember going um, to this this other unit, and I'm gonna tell you when it was. Okay, we got 2001, and then 9/11 hit. What year was 9/11? Anybody know what year that was? Was that what year was 9/11? Whatever year 9/11 was, I was at another unit, and I remember it vividly because I was working the night shift or the morning, turning the morning shift, and I got off right before the sun came up. Was it 2011 or 2001? Nah, it wasn't 2001. It couldn't have been 2001. Nah, I take that back. It was 2001 because I got my years confused. Um, it was 2000 when I went to Deramart unit. So let me get my years right. So I thought I met him. It was 2000 when I went to Deramart, not when I turned. I turned 21 there, but I was 20 when I went there. That's what it was. I remember now because it was 2001 when I was actually at another unit, and I was the only black guy in there. And I was young and I was doing hovercraft, and I remember it blew their mind. They got me in the program, and there was a black captain, and he was impressed that I had my tools and that I knew it. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, man. Thanks for that, man. Thanks for your donation, sir. I appreciate that, man. That's number love. I appreciate it. Um, we was at the unit. I remember said, this black captain told me, he said, man, you the first brother, of your age, that's doing this, I'm gonna make sure I get you in. And they got me in there. I was the only one in there. And I remember those older guys that was in there was some white guys. They at first, they kind of gave me the cold shoulder, but once they seen my work ethics, they got to messing with me. They're like, man, this dude is a hustler, you know what I mean? So they got to talking to me. We'll trade material and stuff like that. Let me see what you said. Yeah, it's going to most definitely. I'm gonna have it. Um, I'm gonna have their names on the wall most definitely, and have a section on what that person helped me with, or how that person helped in a certain uh, particular way, especially them two. Those two men helped me a lot as far as like real skills. Now I learned a lot of street stuff from some other people, but they taught me a lot of solid things. So my goal with the HogOn Cafe, with the HogOn Welding School, is I'm going to teach the independence of welding. I'm gonna teach how to turn a trade into a business, and I'm going to teach combination welding, but I'm not going to teach it as a complete trade. Like you can get specific things. Like the main thing that I'm gonna focus on is the field, because in the field, um, it doesn't matter if you have a high school diploma, if you have a GED, if you can read or write. If you have the work ethics and you can go past the welding test and you can go get your AWS certs or your certs, then you can get good money in the field. So I'm gonna specialize in the field, and I'm gonna show shop welding, because in the shop you don't necessarily have to have certs, but certain shops require GEDs, require this, and some of them don't. But I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach the things that to show the student what they need outside of the system, what they don't need. Like they thinking they got to have a GED, they have to go in debt, they have to do this. I'm gonna show them a different way to do it, on how to use the field welding to get their money up to actually start other businesses. So my goal is to use stick welding and flux core welding. Those are gonna be two of the main things that I'm gonna teach. Now I'm a TIG welder too. I'm like I say, I'm a combination of welder. I do TIG, MIG, and stick. But in this program, I think I'm gonna focus more on uh, flux core and stick welding, because those are two sources that will always be around, and the field will always pay. And right now, most people know, we all know that that everything is mobile, due to the pandemic and what's going on with the virus and whatnot. Um, Certain businesses are shutting down. So a lot of the stuff we doing are outside repairs, outside installation, outside buildings, outside this. A lot of things are going to be outside. A lot of things are going to be mobile. So I feel if I specialize in what I do in the mobile thing, and show the fabrication, because we're going to be fabricating our own products. So my goal is to sell our own products to help finance the school. Like we want to sell our own welding skids, our own steps and staircases and trailers. Like we're gonna build our own products. Hog on the trailers. We're gonna everything that can help the independent person. We want to build it ourselves. Like the containers, the imaginary containers. The students want to build it. The um, the shooting targets, the gates, whatever we do, we want to have our own design. So we don't want to do nothing that you can go get off the shelf. So if you can go buy it off the shelf, we don't want to specialize in it. So we want to have our own style, our own brand of HogOn. And that way I can be able to teach the students the shop welding, and then I can show them the field welding and the installation part. And a person can pick what they want. but I'm not gonna have it as I'm trying to work it. I'm gonna work it as a way once I get to school where it'll be a course, but I'm not gonna have it um too time lengthy, but I want it where we can keep the ball going, and if someone wants to continue, they can just continue into the other section. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't want to make it like, oh, you got to take a 6 months course, because some people can get it in 3 months. Some people, like I have taught a guy who literally got it in 1 month. Yes, yes. The advanced class will be other types, exactly, but the main courses will be float, score, and stick. And if you want to learn other things and the business side, because I want to also teach how to start how to get your EIN independently, how to file for your business license, how to set up your bank account, how to become a business, how to get your tax ID number. Those are things that being independently a school is not going to teach you as far as just going to a regular place. They just going to teach you to get a job. I'm going to show you how to use a job to start your business. You see what I'm saying? So we know we got to get the finances. Some people don't have the finances, and then some students have the finances and just need the skill and go straight to a business. You see what I'm saying? But some people gonna have to use the trade first, get the capital up, then start the business. It's a process. So whatever process it is, I want to be able to give that. You know what I mean? I want to be able to give um, the idea that you can start on one level and take it to the next. So with the HogOn Cafe, uh, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the blessings, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Salute. I want to salute you again. Um, May God multiply that. I want to say one thing real quick, that the main reason I started, or I wanted to establish, because I got HogOn was established in 2017 legally. I actually started in 2016, but it became a LLC in 2017. So it was established then. And I decided to start teaching and giving because it was brought to my attention over time how I have helped so many people and I didn't even know it, just from different jobs. I can't tell you how many jobs I've been on. Someone needed help learn how to weld, or someone wasn't making enough money, and they'd be like, "Man, I wish I could learn how to weld." I said, "Hey, come over here and mess with me sometime. I can teach you." I didn't taught several guys how to weld. I taught a guy in Newport, Arkansas, a little white kid that I was working with when I first got out, and he got his job. He was working with me at this shop, and two of the other guys, they didn't really want to mess with the guy. They were like, "Oh, he's crazy." He was raised in one of those families where it was kind of one of those almost like an occult type of religion. It was funny, but the little guy was cool. But he wanted to know how to weld, and I knew he was the type of person. Once he get it, he was gonna be cold at it. So I was showing him, and to this day, I know probably a lot of people in there don't know, but I taught little man how to weld because he kept coming to me like, "Joe, man, you gonna show me? The other guys ain't got time for me." So I show him anyway, and then he got on, and once he got learned to weld, they end up giving him a little, gave him a raise, and he was making more money. I remember he was proud, boy. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm making some money now," and no telling what that guy's making to this day. But I remember that kid. He was a kid, man, fresh out of high school, 18-year-old, blonde hair kid. He looked it like a kid, cool as a fan, little skinny dude. You know what I'm saying? But that guy, I helped him, and there's several, man, hundreds of people I've helped through different jobs, and um, I did a project in Phoenix, and it hit me one day that I needed to just give back. So my way of giving back, I decided to say, you know what? I don't like the way the system do things. I don't like the way the system create things for us to. It makes it almost difficult for us to go into a different careers or to start something, like they almost make it impossible or it can't be done. And once you get into it, you're gonna think it can't be done because you never did it before. But once you find out the information, you'll see how easy it is. That's why I say it's easier to start a business than it is to go find a job, in my personal opinion. But you'll figure that out once you get involved in it. So I want to teach that. But I know we got to have something of tangible skills in our possession to be able to change our lives, to get some financial wealth, to get some generational wealth, to break some curses and some chains. So my goal is to provide a welding skill, and not only the skill or the installation of fabrication, because some people are going to be good fitters and fabricators and might just tack weld to get everything ready for the welder who might just want to weld only, come through and weld everything up, because there's going to be situations like that. Like, I want to set up a system where everybody can do what they do. Thanks. Yeah, I'm working on it. Like I say, so that's my goal. Is to do that. So, like I say, there's many things that we can do with it, but that's what I'm gonna do with it. And to be honest with you, just so y'all know, the HogOn Cafe is pretty much gonna be like, it's gonna be like the first monument of HogOn. You know how people get their little statues or whatever. That's gonna be our first home office. You know, it's gonna be a small 20-foot shipping container that I'm gonna use as like uh, a museum, pretty much, to display my work ethics, what I've done, my eye, my artwork, what I like, my music, my, everything that I love, that I like, the art, the passion, the skills, the things that I like, the people that I admire, the tradesmen. I want them to be a part of this project, so that way, um, hopefully in the future, that people come down, because I know I'm gonna get a bigger spot, but people come down and just want to see the cafe and just want to see what I did, and I built it from my hands, like, and that's why I've been releasing those videos, so that way people can see me actually out there doing the measurements, building this, doing the transactions, picking up the steel, talking to people, just networking, because I want to show you that it can be done. It's going to be difficult, For those who don't know, I'm in a new city now. So I just moved to Oklahoma City, been here 4 months now, and I'm getting things off the ground. It's a little slower. I'm starting to see the pros and cons to the city, and I think we're gonna be okay. We just got to get in and make our mark. So I think it's going to be important for us to grow here by getting the cafe off the ground, getting our um, area where we'll be promoting and advertising it, and having our physical spot where people can actually come down to buy products and to get services. So here, that's important. And then I'm also looking at land. So my goal, I was trying to purchase some land as soon as I got here, but once I got to walking around or riding around, I seen that it was wiser that I scope out the area first, check out the deals, see the people, see what's going on, see the best, because each pieces of land got its own. So just want to say this: before you buy some land, just don't buy it because it's a good cheap deal. You might just want, hey, I'm a landowner. You don't want to do that. Make sure you can do what you want to do on that land before you purchase it, because I can't tell you how many people had bit themselves because they didn't do the necessarily homework, and then they couldn't do nothing that they was trying to do. So I do the research on what I can do. So I'm trying to find a piece of commercial property where I can be able to have a homestead there. I can have the school there, and office there. I can manufacture. I'm gonna have it where I can um, manufacture, um, I can sell, and we can live on this spot. So say I want to be able to create something. So say if people want to have some housing situation where they want to come down from different spots and they want to get a little apartment or whatever and stay, while they going through the school, or they want to come down to just do a week at a program and they needed a place to stay. I want to be able to have some small housing that I want to create out of the shipping containers. I want to create some condos where my people can come down and they can stay there, or I want to do a community, a resort type thing. But you got to start from somewhere. So the cafe is going to be the beginning of it, and then I'm gonna branch out. But my goal is to get the land though, because here the land is affordable. You just got to make sure it's zoned correctly. But I see a lot of potential in Oklahoma City. I really do. I just got to work it. I'm here, for those who don't know, the real reason, and the only reason I'm here in the city is because of my kids. My sons stay in Fort Smith, Arkansas, which is down the street. I couldn't see myself going to Arkansas. And my daughter I got my daughter in Fayetteville, and I have a daughter in Newport, Arkansas, and I have grandkids in Fayetteville. So my reason for moving here was to get around them more because I've been gone in the desert, for the last 3, 4 years. So I wanted to get closer, and now I'm able to see my son more. So I just figure I would drop everything and reestablish and get here so I can be around him, and then I can be able to see him build business and get things going, see my daughter, and then um, before I move on, because I don't want, this is not going to be my home base forever, but I probably will ever forever have a business in Oklahoma City. So even though I planned on moving, going to another state out west. I like the west, so I'll be going most definitely back to the west. But um, I'll forever have a business here for sure. And if I get the school established here, which I planned on getting established here, it'll forever be here too. Even though I'm gonna get some more and establish another branch. Yeah, hey, you know what? I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. It's gonna work. Those acres, those 50 acres sound good. I'm gonna get it. So around here is a lot of potential, man. It's a lot of potential Oklahoma City in the rural areas where we can actually form our own ranch. We can do our own compound. We can have our own thing. So I know it's gonna take, a team, but I'm gonna start first. And I know if people start seeing me build and me putting it out there, me doing it, eventually I build the right team and doing everything right with paperwork so that way the people that's involved in it, everybody get percentages and everybody win it, because we're gonna have to have staff and stuff like that. So I can see it going in a good direction, like, but the HogOn Cafe is how I'm getting started. So I'm gonna get that and get started, and it's gonna open up so many doors. So I'm knowing that so much can happen. So um, like I say, I just appreciate everybody who help out and on whatever level, getting started right now. It's any type of, it's all type of ways. With materials, it's not all about money. And actually, I'm using my money to buy materials. Like, so, as people see, if you go back and look up the HogOn container or HogOn Cafe, you can see the stages and what I'm doing. I got to buy metal. I got to get, once I finish the outside, I got to dive in the inside and start buying my wood and plywood and sheetrock and flooring and lighting and stuff like this. So there's a lot to go on, but we're gonna do it independently. And like I say, we got a 20 foot. So we're gonna turn. We pretty much gonna have 5 foot of it is going to be um, the welding sessions. We're gonna be doing some independent welding sessions in there. So on my downtime, when people coming through, people getting off different times, they can come up and get weld sessions from the inside of the cafe. It'll be on the side, so it'll be blocked off. When you walk in, you won't even know that it's a welding booth, session booth on the other side where the two big doors is. But I'm gonna have that walled in, so it's gonna be a 15-foot area where it's gonna be complete finish, complete finish, like a real nice office, the walling, I planned on putting a reclaimed wall at the rear, like when you step in from the two glass doors. And then, I'm gonna do something cool in the inside. So I'm still throwing my ideas around, but I got a lot of cool ideas to do with the cafe. So the goal is to give an idea of my vision as an artist, and to pay homage and give tribute to those who helped me um, just along the journey, and show what it really means to get your hog on. Sometimes you got to stand alone. Sometimes you got to build things alone. Sometimes you have to um, be able to endure the storm, so to speak. So with this project, my goal is to lead by example. So I do appreciate everybody that's been liking, sharing the content. Um, like I say, the ideas you give, because y'all have given me some good ideas too. So I appreciate it. So like I say, if you come up with something that you might feel that I could use to help the school, to help the cafe, because literally um, the HogOn Welding School is going to be called the HogOn Cafe. So, but the small version is going to be the 20 foot. So that's going to be the nickname of it, because we're going to come together, and cafes are for people like to come together, get their thoughts together. They drink coffee, they buy small beverages, they communicate, they talk. We're going to mastermind, we're going to come together and form a community to mastermind some ideas to build some products, because I believe in there we're gonna be coming up with more products as we go, because we're gonna have more students, we're gonna have more people who come up with ideas and say, hey, let's make this world a product. Hey, there's a need for this. And then here we go. We got another HogOn product. You know what I'm saying? That we're gonna be able to pay, make it where everybody getting percentages, whoever come up with an idea. You know what I mean? So I want to make it a creative environment. You know, I don't want to, one guy asked me, was I going to hire employees? I don't even want to use that word. I'm calling it team members. We're going to have team members. We're going to have employees. Employees, you got a cap. Team members, you can grow as far as you can grow. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I want to have it. You know, I don't, I don't want to use, I believe wording is strong. So I don't want to use nothing to put captive or limitations on a person. You know what I mean? If you put limitations on yourself, that's you personally. But I don't want to put limitations on anybody, especially my life. Whatever you want to do or I want to do, I want to have no limitations at doing it. But let me fire back up real quick before I get back into it. Just wanted to give a shout out again to my partner Pete, man. Pete. The reason for the video. I was thinking about my brother this morning. Good brother, bro. Good brother. Good brother, Pete. And you know what's so crazy about us not speaking, that I would have thought that, stuff happened. Lost information. I think he's on Facebook, but I don't follow him on there. I kind of, on my personal Facebook, I had like a lot of friends. Yes, appreciate it, man. I like the concept team. I'm not gonna call nobody no employee. To me, my personal opinion, the word employee took the place of the word slave. That's just my personal opinion. So the word employee took the place of the word slave. So I'm not gonna call you that. I'm not gonna treat you like no employee. I want to treat you like a team member. You are valuable. It's like the body. The body, the body is considered to be members. These fingers, legs, these members. So everybody got their important value. I can't tell my fingers that I don't need them when I'm gonna get ready to use a pen, and then I'm gonna need to write. But I don't need you. Now I'm sitting here like this. Nah, I'm not gonna go through all that. You know what I mean? Nah, everybody is important. My toes, the knees, the elbows, everybody a part of the member is important. You know what I mean? So just want to say that, kind of make it comical, but I'm being for real. Everybody is important. You know what I mean? So believe me, have you ever, for those people I had met even in the service, and I can't tell you how many carpenters I had met that had lost tips of fingers and stuff, and they will all tell you that tip was important. Now you don't know how I didn't know how valuable that was until I lost it. Come on now. About time to go get me some more coffee though. My coffee almost gone. But just wanted to come to you, man, and talk. I actually like the topic. Let's rap smoking well, because it's just something different, and it relates to everything that I like. I like to rap, musically, and holding conversation, because rapping means holding a conversation, having a dialogue. I like having a dialogue with y'all. I like rapping. Um, I like smoking. Like I say, I would rather smoke herb than take over the counter, doctor prescribed medications. But I do have a medical card. I actually had three. I got two that's active right now. Actually, I got my marijuana card that's in Phoenix is still active, and then I got one here in Oklahoma City. So yes, teamwork makes the dream work. Teamwork make the dream work. Yes, yes, yes. You know what? It's crazy. Yes, yes. You said it, brother. The round table. Everybody is equal. Everybody got value. Everybody's bringing something to the table. And I'm gonna share something real quick, because I had something happen to me one time, and it bothered me. I had a gentleman, which was a cousin of mine, came to me and said that he gave me an idea. I did something with the idea, so he felt like I needed to pay him for it. Now he didn't put no money behind the idea. He didn't help me figure out the kinks, but he said he gave me the idea. And literally, to tell the truth to y'all, he didn't give me the idea. You know what I'm saying? And so I used that word like I thought of a concept, but it wasn't from him. And yeah, like you say, I love the well too. So it all goes together. Let's rap, smoke, well. It is what it is. You know what I mean? We all got something that we do. My mom used to say this. She used to say, people ask her, well, why do you do this? Why do you do that? You know, my mom used to tell me, she used to say, you know, I used to look at him and tell him, you don't think you're gonna get out of here alive, do you? You gotta go some way. So I'm gonna enjoy what I enjoy. You enjoy what you enjoy. I'm not gonna knock you. You don't knock me. I think we're gonna have a good life. That's my mama, man. Y'all had to meet her. Rest in love to my mama, aka Cat. She was a good woman, man. My backbone, actually. And that's who planted the seed in my mind for welding, for those who don't know. She came on visitation when I was in prison and told me about welding. I appreciate it, Lord. Thank you. Thank you. And you know what? There's no problem with that because, look, listen to what the sister said. She said, I don't rap, I don't smoke, I don't weld, but I appreciate what you do. And see, that's love. That just showing love. And you know what? Just because you don't do something that somebody do agree, you don't have to knock them. You know, it don't mean they evil or bad just because they do something that you don't do. You might do something that they don't do. You know, but one thing you do know, sister, that you forgot to say, you do know how to rap. Mean just talking. You know, the source of the word meaning to communicate, to talk, because you communicate with me a lot. Me and you, we rap a lot on the internet, so you know we rapping. You know what I'm saying? We might not making it rhyme on that level of rapping, but we rapping. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I just wanted to check in, man. I've been in with y'all for about an hour. I'm trying to get more involved in going live, which I do it periodically, different times. I'm trying to find my groove on a good time to come in once a week, early, with even a little episode or some type of encouragement of showing what I'm doing. And it's probably going to be, I don't know if it's going to be Saturday and Sunday, but right now I'm leaning towards more towards the Saturdays. Today I was just actually up and just wanted to talk. See, I'll keep a couple messages. And another thing I just want to say, just for the record, I'm a real individual. I'm a real individual. If I'm the type of person, if I reached out to you or I was real and I tried to help you or assist you in a situation, and I feel you played me left field or you went left field when I thought you was one way and you went that way. I'm an Aries, you know what I mean? True to it too. I'm a true Aries, and I don't. Once I lose respect for you, it's gone. Like literally, family, friends, socials, I don't care. And it's not gonna take just one small thing. It's gonna take some stuff that packed up over time, and then I'm gonna be like, you know what? I'm done. You know what I mean? So um, once I get to that level with somebody, I don't even recognize them no more. I don't even talk to them. I don't even say nothing. I don't even respond. I'm done. You know, I had a cousin that say, "Man, so and so was asking about you this and this." I'm like, "Oh, yeah," because in my mind, I learned that if you're done with a situation, it dies to you, and if something is dead, you don't go to the grave and visit it all the time. So When I'm done, I'm done. Like, I don't talk to you. I'm not gonna bring your name up, because if I'm gossiping or talking about you, that means you're still alive to me, and I'm done. Like, so you can respond, you can say hey, you can do whatever, you can act like, but you and I know you crossed the line, and that line is crossed and it can't be crossed. Like, I forgive you. I ain't got no ill will. I don't wish no harm on you. You know what I mean? But me and you personally, we can't associate no more. Like, you can only you can do some window shopping. You can watch me in the window. Or if I see you, I'll pass by. But I'm done with you. You know what I mean? Unless it's a situation, you know what I mean, where I was literally passing by and you was in, like, literally in harm, and I could help you. I'm not going to allow you to be in harm, and I had an opportunity to help you in a situation. I'm not evil like that. Now, back in the day, I probably would let your ass have it and kept on going and laugh. You know what I mean? But I didn't grow up a little bit. God has been working on me. You know what I mean? I'm a work in progress. But when it comes for somebody crossing that line, I'm done on that. Like, because I'm not the person that is real quick to draw back, because I'm gonna give you that respect. I'm gonna show you that love. Like, I'm gonna give you that. So once a person goes left field with me, I just have no respect for it. Like, and family members will tell you that I don't even associate with. Like, I love them, but I don't talk to them. I don't mess with them at all. Period. You know what I mean? Because it went that way. Just because we blood don't mean we blood. I got more strangers that I have stood in the gun line with, and on the front line with, then that had my back, then the family member that I was standing on the gun line with. So it's crazy, but stuff happens like that sometimes. But just so you know, man, I respect everybody. But so if you see things and wonder certain things, you'll know why. You know what I mean? I don't, I don't do that. So, and one thing about me, for those who know me personally, they know I'm gonna give you respect first. I'm gonna greet you, sir, miss. I'm gonna shake your hand. I'm gonna introduce myself. Now, as Christ would say, once you've been rejected, you knock the dirt off your shoes and you keep going. You go to the next house. And that's just what I do. I'm not gonna waste no thought. It's done. I came, I greeted, you did what you did, I knocked my dirt off, I'm going on. Somebody else got to get blessed. You might go on in your life and always say, man, I messed off a good person, and that might be what it is. And I don't have no ill will towards you at all. You know what I mean? But I'm not messing with you. You know what I mean? I can't see myself engaging in no conversation with that person anymore. And you know what I noticed too? Some people, they'll watch you and they always have something negative to say because it's not what they think. They always want to critique what you do because it's not what they heard, or it's not what they was brought up believing, or they don't think that way. When you didn't ask for their permission, you didn't ask them what they thought. You just doing your thing, you know. So what I have learned is you just got to continue to do your thing. Don't worry about what the haters say. Don't worry about what the naysayers say, because eventually they'll come right back around and say, "Man, you made that work. Man, I see what you're saying now. It's a little bit more clear. It's okay, but you just keep doing what you're doing because you may help them in a way. God probably used you to wake them up. They probably never mess with you again, but they'll be woke up. They won't burn someone else. They'll probably have a better relationship with someone in the future, and they'll remember that they did someone in the past bad. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. But we got the bullies. But you know what? We can't hate the bullies though. And I just want to say that because I think bullies are good. And I'm gonna say why I think bullies are good, because bullies build character. In school, you face bullies, and I think it's good because it builds you. Because in life, when you get on jobs, you're gonna have bullies. You get to dealing with certain people in grocery stores and convenience stores, you're gonna have bullies. So I think that is good to learn from them. You know what? It's an old proverb that say the inversity there there is inversity between the brothers. Like, it's supposed to be some conflict, because that conflict is going to build character. See, a lot of people run from conflict. You don't want to be told you're wrong. You don't want to be picked on. Oh, I don't like that color. So what? You don't like my nose? This my nose. Fuck it. Move on. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So we just have to have more confidence. But I think bullies help us be more confident, stronger business people, tougher skin. You know, you ain't walking around with your emotions on your wrist all the time. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's nothing bad. Um, but I think that it'll be detrimental, honestly, not to have it because, you know, it's like good and evil. Come on now. If it was just all evil, who would survive? And if it was just all good, people would take advantage of it. So sometimes you have to see the evil to appreciate the good. You know, I don't know. I just think it's a balance in it. You know what I mean? So I don't think that it's bad to have bullies at all. I think that, you know, I think they serve their purpose. You know what I mean? In many ways, like everything serve a purpose. You know, like that. There's a time for everything under the sun. You know what I mean? So everything got its purpose under the sun. Just something to think about. You know, the master class. You know, just something to think about. You know what I mean? Just something to think about. It's amazing though, just how it works though. You know, but I just would say that appreciate it, appreciate it. Words spoken from a pure heart, man. Hey, I'm just giving it to you honest, no lie. And it's crazy because some people have their ideas. Amen, sister. Amen, sister. That's a good one. That can be a sermon by itself. Bullets can be a character. You know what I mean? Oh, I felt you the first time, brother. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. Bullies can. And you know what's so crazy thing about it? All those who know me from peace, peace. All those who know me from personal know that I've always not liked bullies. I have stood up, even in prison. I have stood up for people that was getting took advantage of, probably in some situations where I shouldn't even been involved in it, but I just could not let it happen in my eyes. It's just like if I seen it, I just couldn't let it happen. You know what I mean? So that's always, you know, you could say that's a weakness because I couldn't, man, I can't stand it, man. I can't stand it. I can and I got a daughter. She's the same way. My oldest daughter, she like that. She don't like that. She would speak her mind. Like me and my oldest daughter is so much, man. We so much alike as far as our character. It's a trip. It's a trip. Like we are, and it's funny because uh, you never know how your kids turn out. And I got three kids, by the way. You know, I have a 23-year old, I have a 13-year old, and I have a 9-year old. So I got some separation in there. So the 23-year old needs to say things she the mother of the other two. You know how they go. You know what I mean? She that's my baby though, but that's the one that, you know, she was born while I was incarcerated. And once I got out of prison, I received her and then her mom passed before I was able to send her back home and I raised her, you know, so that's my baby. That's been my ride or die. We have our ups and downs and whatnot, but you know, for the most part, you know, we okay. Um, but like I say, just wanted to come to you this morning. Didn't want to take up a lot of your time. Just kind of wanted to come and been a little bit and just talk about my brother Pete. You know, come to you and just be real with you about some of my ideas, what I'm doing with the school, my goals with the cafe, everything pretty much besides the um, appliances, the things that you can buy, you know, to help embellish it, so to speak. Um, all of those things will be purchased or gifts or whatnot. So all of those things will be purchased as gifts, and then everything else, as far as the fabrication of it, is going to be handmade. It's going to be handmade by me. You know what I mean? Me personally. I might here and there might have some assistance. Somebody might helping me build something, but As of now, I had one older gentleman. He actually assisted me one day when I put the glass door in. He helped me install it, so I had some help that day. But as far as the fabrication of it, the welding of it, has been all me. I've been doing all the welding, and I'm going to do all the welding unless I get a hand or someone comes through and say, "Hey, man, I want to help you out, man. Let me come." So other than that, I'm gonna be doing it until I did try to hire a couple people, but a few people that I did try to hire didn't show up that said they wanted to make money. But it's crazy how some people say they want to make money, but they actually want you to give them some money. They don't want to make it; they just want to get a check. People just want that ATM, and I'm not knocking it. I've been there. But when you're building a business and you're building something, you don't want to put your business in the hands of someone like that. That they're not going to treat your business like you would. You know what I mean? So you have to be wise and not not get caught up in that era. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna let y'all go this morning. Like I say, man, I'm just moving around. Came to you early. Just wanted to talk about my brother Pete, man. Salute to him out there in Nevada. Um, just wanted to talk to you a little bit. Like I say, my goal is to start coming to you more on different aspects. I wanted to do some live some live zooming too with some of my people, some of my followers, some of my subscribers. So we're gonna have to get together. Some of us that share a lot of ideas, people who support all the time. Maybe we come together on some Zoom videos and go live, or just have a personal one-on-one, and talk about some issues, how we can be able to build some character. I appreciate it. Thanks for your blessings, brother. Thanks. That we can come together and do some things because the old saying is two minds are better than one, and iron sharpens iron. And there is a friend who is closer than a brother.